Hey guys, it's Nicole. Happy Monday. Today I am sharing a quick process video. This is a Scrapbook Generation kit. This is the Super Savers portion of their popular Super Sketch Club kit. I have already done 2 of the Super Savers, which, if you don't know, their Super Savers is basically kind of like a best bang for your buck type thing. Basically, you're making 3 layouts with minimal supplies. Usually it's about 4 sheets of pattern paper and either a pack of die cuts or a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. In this case they used die cuts. This is a very old kit. I am pretty sure that out of the 5 layouts that come in the kit, this is probably the 5th one, so I think I can say I've killed this kit. I do not have the sketches in front of me to tell you which kit this is, but I want to say it's definitely a couple years old, especially just going off of the fact that they usually use current and new paper lines in their kits, and this is Simple Stories Sweater Weather, I want to say, so this is pretty old. And I wanted to go ahead and share this because I have had a couple of questions about stamping on layouts and stuff. Typically the ones that I will stamp on are the ones that use Simple Stories cut-aparts or even Echo Park cut-aparts, typically just because you're using so many of these cut-aparts on your layout, and these cut-aparts are generally designed to have open space on them, whether it's intended for journaling or extra photos or an area to embellish, that kind of thing. So typically you've already kind of have areas on these cut-aparts that are open and empty and basically perfect for adding extra stuff to them. And one of my go-tos for adding stuff is stamping, because it doesn't add any bulk and it just kind of helps not necessarily disappear into the background, but it just kind of helps add a little bit of interest and maybe an extra layer, but not a layer that takes up space. So that's probably doesn't make sense, but that's just kind of how my brain works. So I just did a quick flip through of my stamps and I pulled out anything that I saw that had fall theme or fall phrases. And like this one was I think it's a My Favorite Things stamp, and it's basically these cute little mice in sweaters and baskets of leaves and stuff like that. And I only inked up part of the sentiment. I just wanted the part that said a harvest of blessings, and I'm basically just adding it to the bottom of this 6x4 card that says fall. And again, it's just a personal preference that when I see these cut apart cards that already have a design on them, it just kind of sparks a thought to myself as I'm kind of going through the supplies that I can stamp on it, or that there's room to it, or maybe it just needs a little something. And again, this came with a pack of die cuts, so I wanted a different type of layer of interest, I guess. I didn't want to just keep adding more die cuts. The kit did not come with the stickers, it did not come with any other embellishments, and I didn't want to go dig through my stash and see if I had any. So stamping is just kind of a easy way for me to add interest to my layouts. So again, here's another one. I just took a really old Ali Edwards stamp set from Technique Tuesday and inked up the phrase that I had chosen to use. This was another one, again from Technique Tuesday, and I just wanted to include the fact that this was Thanksgiving because the kit that I was using was more fall, so it wasn't necessarily like standing out that I was documenting a Thanksgiving, and I wasn't adding my own title to it. A lot of times with these older photos, I'm just in the mindset of I want to get them done. I don't really want to spend a lot of extra time adding more things to the kits, adding titles, adding stuff like that. And in fact, as I'm doing this, I realized I forgot to put my journaling on the layout, but my journaling is only one little strip, and it basically just says, you know, that it was Thanksgiving and where we were and what year it was. So when I get done editing this, I will just go ahead and go slap that on my layout real quick. So it will not be in the photos. Again, it's just a strip that I typed up and just has very basic information. This was Thanksgiving from 2006, so I didn't really have the clearest memories. Basically, it was the same Thanksgiving that I had for decades at this point. Same people, same house, same menu, same everything. So I didn't really have any in-depth, heartfelt journaling that I wanted to include. So I will typically just try to include like basic information just so that anybody coming back, you know, in the future going through this, they know that this was Thanksgiving dinner, this was whose house we were at, and that type of thing. And so at this point, normally I will go through and do all of my photos and my papers and then kind of go back in and do embellishing. For whatever reason, for this page just kind of was bouncing around between different things. And I do like that when you are creating your background with these cut apart cards, it does go quickly, it does fill up a lot of space, but it's not just like a giant piece of pattern paper. It's almost quilted looking, where you've got lots of different things, lots of different interesting things going on. I did go ahead and cut it out of the video, but putting foam tape on the back of this stuff does take a while. And then I waited until the end of the layout to go ahead and take care of my 2x2 photos. I stuck pretty close to the sketch and just formatted, you know, 3 more photos that I had to put them in the same place that was showing on the sketch. With the smaller size photos, especially with them sort of floating on top of other elements, I do prefer to mat them, whether it's white cardstock, cream cardstock, vellum, or sometimes I will just take the photo itself and run white paint along the edges. Just something that it's going to help it stand out as its own individual element, I guess, on the page, and not just kind of look flat, especially with everything else being popped up and everything else kind of being more prominent on the layout. So for me, I just go ahead and mat it, whether it shows it in the sketch or not. And again, that's just a personal preference. There's times where I will follow their instructions to a T, and there are times where I will say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own thing. So this was pretty much it. I chose to skip enamel dots this time. I kind of felt like at this point I was done. It was documented. My camera filled up before it ended. The only thing that I did was I stamped the year 2006 on that brown tag over on the right, which I'm not even sure if I took a picture of it, but that was the completed layout. So again, I just have to go back and add that journaling strip because apparently I completely spaced it while I was putting this together. But I did remember to include photos this time. I had kind of gotten out of the habit of it, and I'm trying to get back into the habit of taking more time when I'm editing my videos, especially for you guys. So as always, I appreciate you guys coming by and watching my videos, and I will catch you guys next time.